A new school year means a fresh start. For families that are looking for a new path to help their child succeed, K-12 could be the perfect fit. K-12 powered schools offer tuition-free, accredited, online public education for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. They know learning isn't one size fits all and will meet your child where they are. K-12 has been a leader in online education for over 25 years. They provide everything a student needs to feel safe, motivated, and thrive in their learning environment. With flexible education options tailored to each child's needs, interests, and goals for the future. K-12's dedicated teachers are trained in virtual instruction and provide real-time support. Plus, students will belong to a vibrant online community with opportunities for extracurricular activities to help them connect with peers and explore interests, all in a setting that works for your family. See how K-12-powered schools can help unlock your child's full potential. Enroll online today at k12.com/FWD. That's the letter K, the number 12.com/FWD. K12.com/FWD.
Yay Networks.
Parenting is such a breeze. Oh, but it would bring you to your knees if it weren't for Chatty Daddy. Oh, yeah, the Chatty Daddies.
Welcome to another Dadder Day. Yes.
You know, Dadder Day, it's a wonderful day to hang out. On actual Saturdays, do you guys find yourself doing the honeydew chores, the mowing the yards, the cleaning out the garages? What are we doing on Dadder Days typically?
Yep, I usually fire out of bed, hang out with the kid for a little bit, and then you get your mowing done.
Yeah.
You get your
We got to get it done early, Trey,
because it's 1,000,000,000 degrees.
Yeah.
It's hot. Did you ever get so angry at your dad mowing the yard on the weekends? Because I sure did. And I didn't get it, and now I know why he woke me up at 7 o'clock to mow the yard.
Sure.
Because it is hot by 11 o'clock.
But then also, if you don't do it by 11 o'clock, then you're just out there baking. Like as a 13, 14-year-old, I was doing the lawn, whether it was 110 out or if I woke up at noon, you could go do it then.
This is when I feel thankful that I grew up in an apartment.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times I was that kid that I wish I lived in a house like all my other friends did. But then hearing you guys talk about how your dad would wake up and mow the yard on Saturday mornings, no thank you.
Yeah, and my dad was pretty anal about the yard, so it really turned me off to yard work. And I'm doing my yard now, and it's fine. I don't mind the act of mowing because you're just walking back and forth.
Sure.
That's easy. It's the blowing, the edging, the trimming.
The cleanup.
The cleanup is what I just can't stand.
Do you bag your clippings?
No, not right now at least. They're not too long where I need to do that.
Yeah. Gotcha. We have a bunch of burrs, a bunch of stickers that get in the dog's paws, so you got to go over it with a bag on the back and get all those stickers up so they don't grow a whole bunch more.
I know.
Sucks.
I was fortunate enough. Our new house has the fake stuff, the fake grass.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
I love that.
So it's the fanciest shit I've ever heard in my life.
which is really cool, Trey, because that took away any mowing going on in the backyard. And I had already given up on mowing. I'm like, you know what? I got my dude that's been doing the yard, and they know how to take care of the trees and the plants the right way. Pay him $20. Boom, it's set. It's a good price. I like that. My time worth the $20.
Absolutely.
At least I think it is.
It is.
But what I've realized is that now I got weeds. Weeds grow through this stuff. I don't know how to take care of it, right? So here's the thing. If you're going to buy a house, don't put a pool in it. Don't put fake grass in it because you never get that back. Right? That just goes away. So buy a house that already has a pool or buy a house that already has that fake grass stuff that you've had your eye on. That's the best deal. You'll save a bunch of money. But I don't know how to take care of it. And all these weeds are growing through it. And the guys that do the yard in the front, I guess they never go in the back because now it's starting to look like the Jungle Cruise back there.
Right. Sure.
And I'm like, I don't think...
Yeah, there's gotta be some artificial grass forums on Reddit or something that talk about this. I'm sure there's a spray.
I wanted to go get the weed killer.
But I wouldn't want you to discolor the grass.
Exactly. So I'm scared of discoloring. And also my wife is all about chemicals and all that. It's like you're going to put weed killer in the back. Some of them have been proven to give children cancer. And I'm like, oh, well, now you're scaring me. So she's like, you got to go back there and have to do it by hand.
I mean, it probably gave the kids cancer who like lived at the factory where it's made.
Right.
They're like, sleeping next to the vats of grass killer. But
If I'm spraying like 4 or 5 different spots in the backyard, I should be all right.
You're spraying a few spots every 2 weeks, you're fine.
Because I'm
Also-
thinking about moving it.
Go get your hands dirty and pull some weeds.
I did that.
Okay.
And it is so therapeutic when you
It
get the
is.
root.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times it breaks off.
You get one of the tools that you get down deep in there.
You can't. I just got to get a good grip and pull it because I can't dig into that grass.
You can't put holes in the turf.
So how does it come through if there's not a
there's
hole?
little tiny holes, but probably holes not big enough for like a root to
Yeah.
come out
Okay.
through.
So I'm damaging everything. I don't know what I'm doing. It's just I'm stressing out.
And with that grass, I imagine, with the artificial grass, I imagine you just got to get yourself like a little Black & Decker $100 electric blower, and you can just
Got
blow it off. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
The leaves and all that
Right
stuff.
into the pool.
That's what I'm doing. I get it wet. I still water it.
Okay.
I don't know. I think to clean it because dogs poop on it, and I go out there clean up the poop
Yeah.
on Saturday mornings, throw the poop away, and then I just rinse it off.
And you water those weeds.
I did get
Exactly.
my backyard quoted to get artificial turf.
oh.
And JC, you're right. I would rather move somewhere that had it because the sticker price, the sticker shock on what they were quoting was
Right.
like,
It's
not a
ridiculous.
chance.
And they told it. I was looking at getting into it in my old house, and my realtor said, I said, hey, can we add that on top? If we ever sell the house, and they're like, no,
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 probably
that's not an additional. You don't say we got grass, so it adds onto the house. That's not how it works.
But here in 10 years, you may have to be stuck replacing it.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. There's that as well.
Good point.
But as long as you're not moving anywhere, it'll pay itself back, hopefully.
Right, right. I got to experience a thing like JC got to experience all of last week.
What?
I got about 4 hours to myself on Sunday.
Oh, you had your own dad day?
Oh, I got to hang out all by myself. My wife went over to the in-laws, and I had a little bit of work to do.
Sure you did.
And I
yeah,
played-
honey, I have work to do.
You play it up a little bit. I got a lot of work. I got to make sure I get it in by, it's Sunday. Got to make sure it's done by Monday. Ooh, on a deadline. And it was like 30 minutes worth of work.
Yeah, but
Sure
you got to
it
make it like it is more.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
And so I got to just hang out. I watched the Olympics. That was a whole lot of fun. Just ate whatever I want and just sat around, peace and quiet.
Take a nap?
It was
Did you take a nap?
absolutely wonderful. Well, I had just finished napping because I napped when Quaid was asleep.
Wow.
So when they were going over right after Quaid's nap, and so boom,
King.
I got a nap, and then I was wide awake, enjoying my life on Sunday afternoon.
I don't like napping when I get those when I get that time. I
That's
don't like,
true. You want to make the most of it?
Yeah, I feel like I'm
Right.
wasting that time if I'm
True.
going to sleep through it.
Yeah.
So here's my hot sports opinion on the taking the kids to the in-laws and stuff like that. Because Trey, I'm in the same boat as you, where like my parents live in town and my wife's parents live in town also. So any given weekend, we're at one of the grandparents' house.
Sure.
And so I kind of feel like my wife doesn't always have to come with me to my parents' house.
You feel like that.
I feel like that. Like I feel that's time for her to chill, do
Right,
whatever.
right. Do you feel
Like,
like
I'm not
you-
expecting it.
But do you feel like you have to go to
Yeah.
her parents'
Yeah.
house?
But sometimes I'm like, is this something I need to go to today? And she's like, no, you can stay home or something. So
Well,
I think it's incumbent on the child of the grandparent. So like I think if we're going to my parents' house, it's incumbent on me to say, no, honey, you can stay home. You don't
Totally,
have to go.
totally.
But if she doesn't say that to me, then I'll go.
now I think that of the two of us, Kara needs the break way more than I do.
Sure.
For sure. But then if I get that break, it's twice as hard at the in-laws' place. So she's running around trying to make sure everybody's okay or
Yeah,
trying to
but-
make sure that the kid's fine.
Grandma and Grandpa
But
want to
Grandma
play
and
with them.
Grandpa are
Yeah, they
there.
got that.
Because because the two poopy diapers, Grandma probably changed them.
No.
No?
No.
They don't change the diaper?
Hell no.
Oh, wow.
What?
That is not something that I put on other people.
It's not like
It's
it's not like
grandpa-
you
well,
walk
grandma
in.
thing.
It's not like I would order my parents to change the diaper. My mom would just say, "Oh, let me change the diaper."
Even
Yeah.
if that's offered, you should not be like, okay, yeah,
No,
it's
you
like,
say,
it's my
okay.
own- it's my problem. You don't have to deal with
They
it.
changed my diaper.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead and change my kid's diaper. It's all good. Do your thing.
They're very polite for offering, but I got it. Don't worry about it. It takes me 30 seconds.
Let me
No
tell
big
you.
deal.
Let me tell you why I said yes to my mom when she was visiting. My son was just born. She was in town. She was hovering. My mom was just hovering over my shoulder the whole time. Oh, don't hold him like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't feed him like that. That's not how I fed you. Okay, Mom. So when he pooped, and I said, I got to change his diaper, I noticed she was hovering above. And I was like, Mom, would you like to change the diaper? Because I knew she was about to tell me that I was doing it wrong. That's the only reason why I let them. And then from then on, she would just pick him up and change the diaper herself. And that's fine.
For one, is there a chance that you were doing it wrong?
Probably.
For two, do you... I don't live in that like stereotypical television show world where like the mother-in-law is overbearing and like trying to tell us how to parent. So I don't really know that feeling. Like I get, do you want me to help out? And then I'm usually like, no, and we move on with our lives.
But they feel like give her that win, dude. She's asking because she wants to help. She wants to change that diaper.
And I'm very prideful, Trey. Don't help me.
Right.
You know, if someone's offering their help, let them take it, because maybe you change one less diaper today.
Yeah.
Like that's
good.
That's good.
If that's the hinge point on what makes my day good or bad, we're really working with thin margins here.
No, it's not like it's just like it's giving the grandparents a little something because they like that. It's bonding. It's fun for them because, you know, they're not changing the 99 diapers that were changed this week. Give them the one.
I've learned that if you say no when a grandparent offers for help, I've learned that they feel worthless. Like they feel like they're not doing...
Or maybe they'll stop asking.
Oh, they'll stop asking. So when you need it later on, it's not going to be there. You're hoping they ask. They don't ask.
Now, never be dependent on the in-law. You know what I mean? Like never, never just throw the baby down and go take a nap at in-law's house or whatever. But if they offer...
Want us to keep the kids for the weekend? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
It's feeding time. Got to give him his bottle. You can do it.
You two sound like a mother-in-law giving unsolicited advice right now. You're just like,
sure, yeah,
of course.
Absolutely. But I'm just saying it makes your life slightly easier. It's less stressful.
Family's a team sport,
and you know, if they're offering their help, that means they want to. It's kind of their love language to you. And if you shut down their love language, then they might feel a little worthless.
You know what's an interesting thought is I don't feel like I ever genuinely mean I would like to help you.
Sure.
Like if I'm like, oh, hey, can I help you with that? I hope you're telling you. I hope you come back with that.
Well, don't offer. Don't offer then.
Like if someone's
But then I'm the jerk that's sitting here not offering.
If we're sitting here at work and someone's like moving a bookcase,
hey,
you kind of have to ask, you need help with that, Dawn?
But you're hoping they say no. And so I feel like it's obligatory for the grandparent to ask.
Okay, so we were talking about sending, going to the parents or the grandparents' house and all that stuff. Does Nick go with his wife if she's going to her parents' house? What about birthday parties? Because, Trey, you're about to get into birthdays freaking season, dude. All the little kids from preschool or the daycare, they're going to have birthdays. They're going to invite Quaid. Do you guys go to the birthday parties?
You have to. You have to.
I think in general you do, but I think it kind of depends.
I don't.
On something, you don't go.
I don't go to the birthday
Okay.
Wow.
I don't go to the birthday parties unless it's a friend of mine. So if he hits me up, my friend's son or daughter, and they're like, hey, you coming through? That's him asking for help.
Sure.
So I will go. But if it's just a random kid's birthday, if I'm going to show up, that's just another mouth to feed. I don't know the other parents. Polite. It's all, half the time, Kinsey has told me, there's going to be some dads there, and I go to this birthday party, there's one dad there. And we both look at each other like, your wife tricked you too? Yeah, bro. Yeah. So I tend to stay home at birthday parties unless Kinsey says it's a whole thing. It's a whole family thing.
I will say, in JC's defense, his kids are a little older, and they can go off and play in the next room fine. They don't need the supervision all the time. If it was me, like my kids, they're real young and stuff. So, like if I was in Trey's position, you have one kid.
Right.
I would certainly go. Because then Kara could talk with the girlfriends while you're messing with the baby. That's kind of like her time to chill and relax. Yeah. But the baby's still kind of there. They can ooh and ah over the baby, maybe. No.
I went early on in my career as a dad. I did go to
I think you go early when mom does need a lot of help.
And that's where you get the shine and the baby poops. And you're like, hey, I got it, baby. And you go change the diaper and the wives are all like, look at him.
And I think you definitely go. If it was my friend, I would go. Like if it was my college roommate, and it was his kid's birthday.
Sure, yeah, you have to.
Then
I'm going.
Yeah, definitely go.
I got two dad friends whose kids' birthdays I go to every time. Tony, and David. If their kids are having a birthday, I'm going because I know there's going to be a beer there for me, and I know we're going to have a good time. But if I don't know little Johnny's dad, I'm not going.
Flip side to what we were talking about a second ago about in-laws and stuff. One of our friends, we were at some function. It was like a wedding shower or something, but it was at his mom's house. I grew up with these people, so I was talking to the mom. I've known her my whole life. And so I was talking to her, and I was like, oh, are you excited to like keep the grandkids a lot and all this stuff? And she goes, no. And we're like, what? And she said, yeah, I told all of my kids, she has 2 or 3 kids. She said, I told all my boys, I'm not raising your kid. She said, I'm not changing the diaper. I'm not keeping them over. I'm not keeping them so you can go on vacation. That's your deal.
Dang.
And she just said, I'm happy to come over for like, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So happy to see the kid all the time. Every day I'll see the kid, but like.
But not even for like a weekend for a vacation?
She
She's
said,
not going to do that?
You're raising the kid. I'm not raising your kid. And I was like, whoa, that was like complete opposite.
That's super extreme, not
Versus
involved.
Complete opposite. But she is involved. She sees the kids all the time. Every week she sees the kids, but she's not like
small increments.
Yeah, small increments. And so it's like complete opposite from what we were just talking about of having grandma do everything versus she's open. And it's like she put her ground rules out there.
Because my mom, and I think she got this from my grandma, my mom is all out here offering like, hey, now that the kids are getting older in the summertime, why don't you send them out for a month?
Oh, a month?
That's too long. Like that's too long.
Your parents, they live out of state.
They live in California.
So they don't get to see your kids as much as a lot of grandparents do.
And so I'm like, why would my mom want both kids for a month? And like, they don't have kid stuff in their house. And I don't think she's in with like what they like to do. And they're going to get bored.
Sure.
And I think back, I'm like, oh, wait, that's because my mom used to send me back to Mexico for like 2 weeks with my grandma.
Yeah.
And I hated it.
Yeah. But your parents were partying when
Oh,
y'all
my
were
goodness,
gone.
dude. I remember it's like, all right, you got to go back to Mexico for grandma's for 2 or 3 weeks because I knew it was summer. And I just dreaded that. My grandma she didn't have the TV.
No.
She didn't have video games.
Terrible.
It was sit around all day and just watch her smoke cigarettes.
Absolutely terrible.
I found my love of Bob Ross at my grandparents' house. They didn't have cable. They just had PBS. Local
let's go.
stations.
Yeah.
Watch Bob Ross, some cooking shows on PBS.
How's your painting skills now?
Oh, terrible. Man, I still watch Bob Ross at least once a week.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's a good dude. Apparently, he looked like me when he was younger.
Really?
Look up young Bob Ross. And apparently, somebody brought this to my attention. They said, you look like Bob Ross. I took that as a big time smack in the face.
Pre-fro Bob Ross.
Pre-fro.
I
Look
have
up.
a scour on my face and not believing you. Let's
I know
see
you do.
how hard this turns around.
Okay, let's
Bob
go.
Ross
Young. Boom.
Bob Ross. And every now and then he shows his pet squirrels on the Bob Ross show.
And I love Squirrely.
Holy crap.
Did they look alike?
Dude.
Get out of here.
Dude.
Let me see it. Yeah, 100% you guys.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
And he's got pretty legit hair for like being in the 50s or something.
It's not curly or anything. Like, where'd the fro come from?
It's straight hair. It's like Elvis James Dean hair.
I've never turned around on a...
Yo, this is crazy. It's like my grandpa,
Yeah,
dude.
it's nutty.
Oh, man. So, yeah, if you're wondering what I look like listening to the Chatty Daddies right now, just go look up young Bob Ross. Don't even look me up. Look up young Bob Ross.
Hold on. If you also want to see who else JC looks like, I'm Googling it right now. Oh, yeah. So...
am I going to freaking hate you?
Yeah, you're not going to like this.
Okay.
I think every now and then Jimmy Fallon shows pictures of himself from like high school.
Uh-huh.
And every time I see it, I think, yeah, that's JC, right? Does
High
that
school
not
Jimmy
look like
Fallon?
JC?
Maybe a little bit.
I'm not saying you're identical, but I kind of think you guys sort of look alike.
A little bit.
Like you before putting on some muscles.
I've gotten that I look like Jimmy Fallon in the past, too, even as a grown-up. Like,
Interesting.
yeah.
Jimmy Fallon's not an ugly person by any means. So, yeah.
And I've gotten Mark Wahlberg because of our eyes a couple times. Our eyes are similar shape.
I get that.
But definitely not the muscle.
I normally get like Zac Efron and The Rock.
Sure, yeah.
I
Right.
get a lot of like Will Smith in Independence Day.
Yeah. Yeah, young Will Smith for
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
I
No,
get
but
those
honestly,
vibes.
which celebrity do you get?
When I used to get Macaulay Culkin a lot.
Oh.
When I was a kid, I got him a lot. But this was
Womp
like
womp.
pre-strung out Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like cute, like good-looking child actor, like Home Alone.
Cute kid,
Culkin.
Macaulay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that a lot.
I got Ryan Felipe.
Yeah.
Felipe.
yeah, I can see that.
Cruel Intentions guy.
That was the most recent one. I've also heard Russell Crowe, but like Gladiator Russell Crowe, which still isn't great,
Hey.
but it's fine.
It's better than Russell Crowe now.
Right. Yeah.
In Gladiator, he's jacked in that.
Yeah, but I don't think that they're talking about the body type. I think it's just kind of his weathered face.
And you know what? Okay, so speaking of jacked, that has nothing to do with parenting or anything this podcast has to do with.
Most of the time it
But we're
doesn't.
talking about celebrities and being jacked. If you go back and you look at Hugh Jackman, I love Hugh Jackman, like my biggest celebrity man crush, love him. If you go back and look at him as Wolverine in the first X-Men, I imagine him as this like giant jacked dude, but he wasn't.
He's just lean, ripped.
He was in shape, but I mean, he was not
Jacked.
cut like he eventually got for him. And he was just kind of like a normal looking actor.
Yeah.
And then eventually he got bulky Wolverine.
Yeah, they got him the dietitians and all that stuff. Speaking of celebrities, my son, so Kinsey went back home and got a bunch of stuff, pictures and stuff.
Aww.
And he came across a picture of a baby being held by Zach Galifianakis, and behind Zach Galifianakis was Will Ferrell. And Kaysen goes, "Why do you have a picture of Buddy the Elf and this guy holding a baby?"
Isn't that great that kids know Will Ferrell is Buddy the Elf?
Yeah.
That's how he knows him. And I go, "Kaysen, that baby, that's you, dude." And he goes, "What? I know Buddy the Elf?" And I said, "Well, I took you to an interview one time when they were doing a movie, and not only does he know you, they kidnapped you for a while. Were you with me for that, Nick?"
I was with you. I was filming, and it was. I'm gonna say, like top 15 wonderful memories from this job was seeing this interaction.
Yeah.
I mean, Kaysen got picked up by Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis, and they went and did the rest of the interview tour with international news stations. So Kaysen was probably on somewhere in France,
Yeah.
maybe somewhere in China, Japan, like all those news stations.
They were in a movie called The Campaign, and it's like they were like facing off in some political like small town political race, and so. It was like a shaking hands and kissing babies moment that politicians do.
Totally.
And JC played some game with them, and it was really funny. And yeah, they just didn't give Kaysen away.
I made Kaysen pick at the end. I said they did the kissing the baby. That was the last question. And then I had Kaysen. I held him out, and he got to pick who he wanted to go to. And I think he went with Zach. But it led us to looking at more pictures. And this is where my kids realized I was not the only man in Kinsey's life.
I kind of forgot we were going somewhere with this story.
Yeah.
I got sidetracked on the Will Ferrell.
Well, no, because it's a freaking cool story. I mean, how many kids can say that they got kidnapped by Will Ferrell? So he's looking at more pictures, and he points at this dude. Kinsey was in middle school, and he goes, "This kid with spiked hair, like the rockers, super spiked hair."
We're going like some 41.
Yeah, exactly.
Like good Charlotte spiked hair.
Just like that, Nick.
Probably use some Elmer's glue.
Points at this kid, and they're sitting at the mall and whatever, and like Kinsey's sitting there, and like she's sitting next to this kid. Hate the kid already. He's sitting next to my woman's. And Kaysen goes, "Who's that guy?" And she goes, "Oh, that was my boyfriend in middle school." And Kaysen and Chloe both, "What? What?
As they should.
You had a boyfriend before Papa?" And my wife goes, "Yeah, I had like a few boyfriends before Papa." It blew their mind.
Totally.
That there were other men before me. And Kaysen goes like, "Why didn't you marry him then?" And so we had to get into this conversation that I didn't know that we were going to have at the point where you tell the kids like, "Hey, your first boyfriend and girlfriend's probably going to make you cry. And you're going to have a heartbreak, and they're not going to work out, but eventually you will meet your wife or your husband."
Kaysen's 10? 9.
Yeah, he's going to be 10 this year, and Chloe's about to be 8.
So he's probably, if he's not, he's probably got friends at least that have boyfriends and girlfriends.
Yeah, they're starting to get into the boyfriend-girlfriend thing.
That's funny.
Chloe's got a little, her best friend has a little boyfriend who bought her a necklace for her birthday.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Was it on a piece of rice and it was really tiny?
No, it was
like bought it at the mall. Did you ever see those?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that with the name on it. No, it was like a legit necklace.
Wow.
But the kid's dad's a doctor and stuff. So I was like, if you got a dad doctor, if you got a boyfriend with a doctor dad, you're good.
I gotta say, I am in my 30s, and whenever I hear my parents talk about people they dated, it's weird.
I don't like it.
This just happened, I kid you not, just like a week ago, hanging out with my dad, and we were talking, somehow we started talking about soft drinks. I don't know how we got on this subject. And then we started talking about, and I was like, oh, I think Mountain Dew was originally like a mixer for whiskey. We started talking about mixers for drinks, and he was like, oh, ginger ale and tonic water and stuff. And he goes, oh, this girl I dated in college. And I was like, what? That's not my mom. He goes, yeah, this girl I dated in college, her dad like worked for Seagram's and they have whiskey and then like ginger ale and stuff. And that was it. He didn't tell me anything about the girl.
Did you want to know more though?
Kind of.
Yeah.
But still, it was just weird hearing my dad say, oh, this girl that I dated.
I honestly, aside from my biological father, I couldn't tell you another boyfriend that my mom has ever talked about. I don't know anything about that part of her life, nor my dad that I grew up with. I have no idea who their exes were. They never talked about it. I don't know.
I have a
single thing.
Funny parents dating story. So my mom and dad, they were high school sweethearts. They dated forever. But
like you and Blair.
Yeah, just like me and my wife. And so, but before they were together, my mom and her sister, Rita, they went on a double date. Rita went with my dad.
What?
And my mom went with this guy named Kendall. Anyways, they had gotten the matching wrong because my dad married my mom, and my aunt married this Kendall guy that my mom was on a date with.
Whoa.
They eventually, years later got married to the other guys.
They did the switcheroo.
Yeah. And I mean, this was probably in like junior high or early high school. They just like went to a movie or something. Like, I don't think it was, they weren't actually dating long term, but it was just kind of funny.
It's crazy.
I mean, I did end up dancing with Kenzie's sister the first time I saw her. I danced with Kenzie's sister instead.
She ever hang that over your head every now and then? Like, well, you thought my sister was attractive before me?
Because Kenzie is the one that turned me down. And on my walk of shame turnaround, her sister then started dancing with me.
Oh, okay.
So I just said, I'll just stay here and dance the song with this girl, even though this girl just turned me down.
Slow dance, polite.
Yeah.
Keep.
It was
12 inches
bump and grind
apart.
dance?
It was like a juvenile back that thing up type song.
So no.
It was
she may have been feeling what JC was working with a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly.
Did she next too close feel a little poke coming through?
No, she did not. I was still so thrown back because of Kenzie turning me down that I was like, I wasn't even concentrating on dancing with her.
Whatever, I'm just going to go get some punch.
But they have talked about it like, imagine if Jose would have ended up dating Kelly and they got married instead of Jose and Kenzie. And I was like, nope.
Pretty crazy.
Ain't gonna happen. No, sir.
Here we are talking about dating, and now we've got kids. And the things that we were worrying about in college are nothing what we're worrying about. Now we're worrying about like, is what I'm playing with my kids developmentally satisfactory for their future?
It's very
Are they
weird
learning anything as we're playing?
Should I keep letting them watch YouTube videos?
No. You have them play with their Love Every toys.
Right.
Because they will help your little one learn and grow, and it is the best feeling in the world to watch them do that. Because finding the right toys is, it's hard. It's hard.
It is. It's so tough, man. I mean, it's like, do I get something with a lot of batteries?
Exactly.
Do
I don't know.
Do I get something that's educational or just fun?
How do you know that it's educational?
Do I need to, if it says ages 6 to 9, is it like, oh, is my kid in there? Like, what if he's 10 now? Like, can I still give him that toy?
Enter Love Every. They've sent us stuff for all of our kids, and my kid loves to play with all their little cups. They're color coordinated. I can see that he's learning with my own eyes.
You're probably wondering, how did they get this perfect toy for Trey's little one, Quaid? Well, it's because Love Every's play kits are designed by experts for your child's developing brain. They know what they're doing. They wanted to get together with the parenting experts, and so now we have this beautiful partnership going on.
Yeah, each play kit is tailored to your child's exact learning stage, so they have the right toys for the right time, and new play kits are delivered every few months so that they grow along with your child.
And sometimes he'll just play with them by himself, and then other times I'll break out their guide, their activity guide that comes with each play kit, and I'll show him exactly how he's supposed to be learning, and he builds his brain power.
He's going to be so smart.
Take the guesswork out of your child's play. Choose Love Every today and get free shipping when you sign up to receive your play kits at loveevery.com/daddies. That's LOVEVERY.com/daddies for free shipping. Loveevery.com/daddies.
All right, so we were having fun, and now we're going to shift gears.
Yeah, we're going to shift gears a lot. So we got a letter from someone, and you can always message us. You can email us or DM us. All the ways to contact us are in the description of this podcast below. So I'm going to read this, and then we're going to get Sarah on the phone in just a second. So Sarah wrote us. She said, hey, guys, I have a 4-year-old who's been pretty sheltered, especially after the pandemic. He's never been to daycare or Mother's Day out. So how do you talk to your kid about adults touching them in bad ways? So this is a serious letter.
Yeah.
And a serious topic that every parent has to.
We all have to have this conversation with our kids if they're going to go out in public and be around strangers.
And I mean, really, is there a more important conversation to have with your kids. I mean, this is like top 2 most important conversations you need to have with your kids, right?
Yeah.
So Sarah continued, she says, I saw someone say that stranger danger is outdated because you're more than likely to be hurt by someone you know, which is actually true, which is really upsetting. So the new thing is tricky people. Who can be an adult that you know or a person that you don't. So it's a stranger or someone you know. But they ask you to not lie and hide things from your parents. And I want to talk to him about this, but we still haven't mastered how talking to him about this and what a lie is. So she just wanted our advice on that. So that's from Sarah.
Okay, let's get Sarah on the phone. Hey.
Hello?
Hey, Sarah, this is Nick with the Chatty Daddies. How's it going?
Good.
We loved your letter, and we were just talking before we brought you on how this is one of the most important conversations you can ever have with your child. And so we're definitely glad that you wrote us about it. So is this little kiddo, is this kid your only child?
I have a 4-year-old and a 16-month-old.
Okay,
so
yeah.
And I'm a stay-at-home mom, so they've never been in daycare, and we live like 5 hours from any family. We don't have friends in this area. So we've never had babysitters or anything. And we were going to put him in like a Mother's Day out or something last year, but then COVID happened. So that pushed everything back.
Yeah.
And so I didn't feel that I ever had the right time or need to have that discussion or how to do it for that age. So yeah, now we're getting closer. He won't start kindergarten until not this August, but next August.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, we're getting close to where there's going to be other people in his life.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to deal with that.
You touched on something very important, the whole stranger danger thing, and how, a lot of the times it can be somebody close to you and it can be somebody that gets close to your family. So it's really awkward to talk to your kids about this because you don't want to give them more information than their child brain needs to have regarding bad people.
The conversation can quickly get a little scary.
Exactly.
And they would be confused by a lot of these words that they just don't understand.
So maybe somebody listening to the Chatty Daddies can link us up with someone who knows how to handle these situations better or how to talk to the kids a little bit better. But what we can give you, Sarah, is I've had personal experience with this because I was a child who was abused by and no, I know it's awkward to hear from someone, and it's totally okay. I'm totally okay talking about this. I have in the past. It ended up being my mom's friend's brother. And this was something that started when I was 5 years old. And it went until I moved to the U.S. when I was 8 years old. Now, what I will say, looking back at this as a grown-up now, my mom never had a conversation with me regarding people that I'm close to doing things to me that should not be done. She had told me about strangers and be careful, but mostly having to do with they could kidnap you. And then that's what was in my brain, but never when it had to do with my body or acts. And so I never had that speech from my mom or my dad because, frankly, I think they just felt safe around the people we were with and the community of people we were with. Had that talk been given to me, I honestly can tell, I would say that I might have brought it up to their attention a lot sooner than holding it in as a kid and then realizing when I was a teenager that was not right, and then holding that in and creating anger and then psychological issues that happen into adulthood. I think the best way to go about this is to sit them down right before they go to daycare or to school or anything, and you got to tell them, hey, hopefully you guys have had your talk about privates. You have your privates, and that nobody should ever ask you to see them. Nobody should ever ask you to touch them. Nobody should ever ask you to do anything to someone else's privates. And if they do, or they ask you to do it and keep it a secret, you need to tell mommy and daddy. Yeah. Secret is the main thing. They will keep a secret. They will tell you that.
Yeah, that's one thing that I did see on TikTok where they were talking about how stranger danger was outdated because it's a lot of times it is someone that you know or your parents know.
Yeah.
And so they were calling them tricky people. And one of the main things you wanted to get across was that there's no such thing as a secret. There's such thing as surprises, because surprises eventually are meant to come to light.
Yeah.
So like you can have a surprise for somebody, but you shouldn't be keeping secrets from mommy and daddy.
Exactly.
And if someone asks you to keep a secret, then that's not okay.
My cousin, she works for a child advocacy program in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that we live in. It's called Alliance for Children. It's a wonderful program.
Mm-hmm.
And they help save children from abusive situations, and they get in legal people and authorities and everything like that. And for the longest time, for 20 years that I've known her, she's always said secrets are dangerous, and so when she started having kids, secrets were never allowed. Even with,
Right.
even if I'm just like at Thanksgiving and I'm like, hey, I have a secret. Do you want to have a piece of candy? Just to my innocent, cousin,
Yeah.
I don't think anything
Right.
of it, but she would always say, secrets aren't allowed. And so I've kind of had that in the back of my head for a long time, and I totally get it.
And the bad thing about, and here's the thing, because they don't just, bad people, predators don't dive in and do bad things right away, right? They program
Right,
you.
the grooming.
They groom. So how it started in my situation was with developing the secret relationship, okay? So the way that it would start out was he would give me a piece of candy when my mom said I couldn't have any.
Mm-hmm.
And I love candy. I'm a freaking kid. I'm 5 years old. So I would take this
Right.
candy, and he would tell me, hey, I'm going to give you this candy. Don't tell your mom, though, okay? This is just our secret. And I would take the candy. I would eat it. I didn't want to get in trouble with mommy, so I didn't tell her about the candy. And eventually,
Right.
after doing that a few times, he started introducing new things and saying, hey,
Right.
remember, if we don't tell mommy, you can get in trouble for this, or mommy can get hurt if something. So they groom these kids. So if you instill that secrets are bad from the very beginning, and that you do not keep
Right.
secrets from mom and dad, I think that's going to be the main focus, or maybe even stop it from happening, because your kids will be like, no, I don't want to hold secrets from mommy.
Yeah, there was a few things
Right.
that I've been kind of looking up before this podcast, and then just generally that I've tried to remember with my kids, is that the most important thing, Sarah, is that you're talking to them early.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is repetition. You're kind of constantly reminding them every so often, hey, what are the things that you can and can't touch on someone, or that they can touch with you, and stuff like that. So early, and then repetition, just kind of constantly instilling that in them. And then also something that I had never heard of is that you tell someone until they believe you. So if you tell your teacher and they don't do much about
that's
it,
good.
Yeah.
or if you're too
Yeah.
afraid to tell me, if you tell a friend, maybe they tell their best friend and they don't believe it, or their friend doesn't do anything, tell a teacher. If that teacher doesn't do anything, tell another teacher, or tell a parent. Just tell someone until they believe you, and then because kids may not tell the parents right away.
Right.
They're going to,
Right.
because it's hard. Like JC was saying, you keep that secret from your parents for a long time.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
there's shame there, you're embarrassed, you don't know how to bring it up, and it's easier to tell a friend or a teacher. So, yeah, tell someone
Right.
until they believe you.
How about tone of the original conversation? So when Sarah, because I am not in this position yet at all. Everything's
few years away.
happy-go-lucky, and everything's
Right.
absolutely just rainbows and butterflies and wonderful. What about tone when you sit your kid down to talk to them? Are you in a serious manner? Are you trying to make it like, hey,
Conversation.
listen, we're having fun. We just need to have a conversation? Or are you sitting down, hey, there are bad people in the world, and giving them bad things to think about?
I feel like even saying bad people in the
Right,
world is going to
exactly.
make him like
You don't want
perk his
to.
head up and be like,
scared.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I tried to do that with my kid, he's 4, he didn't understand bad people.
Right.
They still don't know. Luckily, they still live in a world where they think everyone's nice.
Yeah.
We should all be so lucky. And so he didn't really understand that
Right.
a whole lot. So, like JC was saying, for me, it was kind of just we're having a casual conversation. It's not, we're super instilling this right now. Listen, serious talk right away. It's just kind of, we talk about it early and often, and that hopefully each, with every few months, you can throw in an extra detail.
And we would love to hear from therapists
Please.
who know how to handle this,
we know
because
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
these are some ideas that we've had just from my personal experience and what Nick has done with his children so far, and what Sarah's researched thus far. But there's got to be a proper way to do this, and I feel like you don't want to create anxiety for your kids, because that's also going to have
Right.
them feeling. So there's a way to do it, and I know therapists out there know how to do it properly. So we would love to hear from you guys and hopefully put you on in a future episode of the Chatty Daddies, because this is an incredibly important topic that Sarah brought to our attention.
And we're all learning this together. You know, this little Chatty Daddies community that we're building. Like, we have people like Sarah who are asking us very vulnerable questions.
Yeah.
And we don't always know the answers to it, despite what we think we know the answers to. We don't know everything, so we need people to tell us too.
And to those people listening that have been through what I went through, when you have kids, this is one of the reasons I didn't want to have kids. Because I was so deathly afraid that what happened to me would happen to my kids. It's gotten me to the point where I didn't send my kids to summer camp this year. I'm scared. I'd be honest with you guys. It's not because money. It's not because.
Did you tell your kids?
No. My that's the thing. I don't want to scare them, Sarah. So when they asked, my son said he wanted to go to a camp. I found a way to get out of it. And so, you know, I told him, oh, it's around Father's Day. And when I said that, he automatically said, oh, no, then I want to stay for Father's Day. But that's not going to happen every year. And there's going to be a time where he wants to go to a camp. And in my head, I'm thinking, bad things happen at camp. You know, bad things can happen. There's going to be adults that they're unsupervised. I don't know these people. And so in my head, I'm constantly filled with this fear. And rightfully so. I don't care what anybody says. It's a devastating fear of mine that I have, that I don't trust adults around my kids. I don't. I honestly, I just don't. And so I'm gonna need to figure out a way to let my kids have a life, and also get out there and not let my insecurities and my fears get in the way of their happiness. Because kids should be able to go to camp. Kids should be able to have fun and go to sleepovers at their friend's house. I hate sending my kids to sleepovers.
I'm scared about that.
I have, if there's an older kid there, if there's a teenager, I will not allow it. I trust 2 families with my kids over there. 2. That's it.
You know, because even if it's not a kid, you just don't know who's going to
be over there.
You said it's your mom's brother's friend or whatever. You don't know who's coming over.
Yeah.
It's not just the family that's there all the time.
And there's more good people than there are bad people. So let's just say that, parents. There are way more good people than there are bad people. It's just those bad people ruin it so much so for so many of us.
Yeah. But Sarah, you know, thank you for calling us and bringing this to our attention, because it's kind of a topic we've probably wanted to broach at some point.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And we just don't know how to do it, you know. And hopefully we've gotten the conversation started with people listening, and we can hear from other people about how they've managed to have this conversation with their kids,
especially the therapists out there. Please contact us. We want to get into this with you, so that parents out there who have questions like Sarah and me and Nick and Trey can actually go about it the right way. So Sarah, thank you so much for your time, and good luck with that little talk. I know it's going to be a tough one, but you're going to do just fine.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sarah.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye.
Boy, I really clam up on all of the serious topics we talk about here.
It's hard, and like we said, you're so far away from having these conversations that it is kind of an outer space for you.
Right.
It's not really a conversation that you have to have right now.
Ooh. And I'm dreading the day that it does have to happen.
Got him.
Did you catch a fly?
Of course.
Oh, thought you were like clapping for Trey.
I was clapping for Trey too. My man's good.
Yeah, he stayed quiet. No,
I did that a lot too, Trey. When I'd be around parents that had older kids, you want to take in all that information,
right?
Yeah,
I'm not trying to spit out something that I don't know anything about. I'm the one asking questions.
Right.
At this point.
Yeah, and you know, having kids stay over, it's like, aside from inappropriate touching or things that can happen with people in the house, it's like, do I need to ask the dad if he has a gun in the house? Do I need to ask?
Yeah, it's not just.
Do I need to ask about the pets in the house?
Yeah.
Do they have child locks on the poison? You know, the rat poison cabinet?
Are they keeping an eye on the kids the whole time, or are they letting them go climb the roof? Or what kind of, are they super lenient parents?
Do they let them ride bikes in the neighborhood? If so, how far out can they? Like, all these questions I haven't had to deal with yet, but I definitely think about them.
Do you now understand why I had this? I used to get so pissed at my mom when I was a kid, you know, and she didn't even know what I went through. She didn't even know until I was a grown up, and I finally brought it up after therapy, and finally they told me, you need to have a conversation. She had no idea. But even when I would ask her for sleepovers, and she'd always say no, or like to go to some, no. Now I get it.
Sure.
Now I 100% understand. She's just a protective mom.
Yeah, what do you mean? I just met the kid this week. He's new in town. I want to hang out at his house. No.
I don't know the parents. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. Yeah, I get it now. Now my kids get mad at me. I want to go to the sleepover at this. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know the parents. I need to meet the parents before you go sleep with somebody's.
Yeah, hey,
I have to.
I'll pick you up at 10.
Yeah.
I'll pick you up late. That's fine.
Right.
I got to meet them. Got to meet brothers and sisters. I got to see what's going on in the house. I got to make sure that I get a good vibe. I'm sorry. And it's all these things that our parents told us. You'll understand one day when you're a parent. It hits hard.
Well, I mean, hopefully we've made a lot of wheels start turning in other parents' heads to maybe start having that conversation, or at least to maybe have the conversation again with their kids. So hopefully that's happened. Again, hit us up with all of your helpful ways in the description of this podcast below. But I think that's it for this week, right, guys?
Hey, JC, thank you for sharing. I know that that's not easy for a whole lot of people to just tell to another human being, much less a listening audience. So I appreciate you trying to get the information out there.
Listen, man, I held on to that so long that when I finally started talking about it to people, it felt like a weight was lifted. And then when people reached out and said that's exactly how I felt, and I went through the same thing, not that I'm happy about it because I would hate that people went through it as well, but it makes you feel like you're not alone.
Right.
And that you can overcome these things and you don't actually have to fall into the hole. You can actually climb out of it and be okay.
Yeah, and luckily we are living, I would say in the last 2-3 years, we're living in a time where people are opening up about experiences that have happened to them behind closed doors, which has led to the slow process of change in how people live their lives and how they handle their fellow human beings. So hopefully, just like people like you sharing their, upsetting and frustrating and terrible things that have happened, that can help, make things change for the next generation.
I got way more happy memories than I have bad ones, and that's all that matters.
That's good. All right, we'll go back to jokes next week. How about?
Deal.
Oh, yeah.